what's up guys? It's me, Get It Gary. I've been wanting to do a video like this for a long time. I see everybody doing like the introduction to wheelies, the how to wheelies, and I just don't think there's enough content out there on like more advanced stuff. Everybody knows how to wheelie at this point, so let's get you guys on a little level up and start teaching you some more advanced sides of things. The first thing I want to go over is safety. Find a controlled environment, find somewhere where you're not in the streets, where if you do take a spill, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay if you lay it down, because chances are, learning these things, you are gonna take a spill. Chances are you are gonna, it's not always gonna go your way, especially if you start hitting the advanced wheelies and you're dropping it back, using the back brake and all this stuff, and we'll kind of go over these things. But the number one thing is definitely safety. Wear the proper safety gear, wear a DOT approved helmet, and obviously wear some gloves, big gloves, and wear good shoes. Don't follow my example. I'm an advanced expert, so I earned my stripes. I can wear these kinds of shoes, and I don't want to see anybody in the comments saying, that guy's gonna go down one day and he's gonna lose a leg. I know the chances I'm taking. You mind your own business and you go learn how to wheelie, all right? But on a real note, go out there and get the proper safety equipment. Go get some, good glasses so you don't get rocks and bugs in your eyes. Go get a good helmet so your friends don't have to come visit you in the hospital. Really get the right shoes, get what you're supposed to get on, wear the proper jacket and the proper riding gear. It's gonna make it a lot more fun for you. Road rash sucks, and just getting hurt in dumb ways kind of sucks. It hurts the pride more than it hurts anything, really. So get the proper safety gear, the proper safety riding gear, and let's get started. So one thing to focus on before you get out there and you start wheeling your motorcycle, a lot of you guys may probably know me from the Harley industry. I was gonna do a reveal video for my Harley Davidson and do basically this video on my Harley, but I want to explain it all on a smaller bike first. I think it's a good example to start everything on a small bike and get it dialed on this first, and then take it to the bigger bike afterwards. So I'm going to explain everything on this bike, and then maybe in a later video we'll take it all to the Harley Davidson. So one of the first things you want to make sure is you obviously want to make sure you're riding a safe motorcycle. Go around your bike, make sure all your brakes work properly, especially your back brake. This is the most important thing. This is like your safety net. This is like your parachute when you jump out of an airplane. You don't want to jump out of an airplane without a parachute. Don't try wheelies without a back brake. Another thing, just make sure everything's tight on your bike. Do a walk around, check your nuts and bolts. You want to make sure you are operating a safe piece of equipment. Safety is number one, guys. I cannot stress it enough. So like I said, be familiar with your bike, learn your bike, ride. If you just barely got a bike, don't go trying wheelies on it number 1 week. Go ride that thing for a little bit and get to know your motorcycle. That's number one. Well, there's a lot of number ones. I'm gonna say number one probably 100 times. There's a lot of number ones. Another number one is make sure you know your motorcycle and know its capabilities and know your capabilities. And then also, if you guys are gonna get out there and start wheeling, just think about protecting yourself and protecting your bike. We already went over protecting yourself, but protecting your bike is number one. There's tons of companies for every style of motorcycle out there that you can find sub cages, you can find crash cages, slider pegs, and that's another one that I highly recommend before you get out there and you really start doing the advanced side of wheelies. Even before you even start really doing beginner wheelies, get out there and protect your equipment. I'm kind of sick of talking. I want to show you guys how to do these tricks now. But at this point in the video, if you have not dialed in balance point, if you can't drop it back, if you can't just maintain that balance point with your rear brake, this video might not be for you. The tricks I'm going to be showcasing are for more advanced riders, people who are more in tune with their balance point, knowing exactly where the drop back point and knowing where the letdown point is, and just kind of having that know-how and that muscle memory. So if you're not quite at that point yet, go ahead and go find a how-to video. Cruise the Originals has really good ones. John's Moto Garage does a good one. JB Stunts does good ones. There's a handful of good how-to wheelie videos out there that would be perfect for you guys to study before diving into this video. All right, guys, so for the first advanced trick, all these tricks that I'm going to be doing are rear foot brake tricks. I don't have a handbrake on my bike. It's pretty much a stocked bike, so we're just going to focus on foot brake tricks. And this first one, if you're comfortable in the balance point, you're comfortable with one hand locking the bar, this is a perfect trick for you to learn. What we're going to do is a hand drag. Hand drag is an iconic trick on a motorcycle that once you can do it, it feels so good. So once you learn this trick, you're going to be super stoked. But the thing is when we do this trick, remember, be familiar with your balance point. But when we do this trick, we're going to lock the bars. So you're going to want to be comfortable with the bars locked while you're doing a wheelie. And a lot of people like to reach for it like this, but that makes it way harder than to actually extend this elbow, drop this shoulder back, and then the ground is right there. And then all you have to do is touch it. We'll cut to an example right now. So there's the example. Basically, I just went up, got to the balance point, had the bars locked, and as you drop past balance point, you ease out of the throttle, and you kind of hear the decel, you know? I never go for hand drag unless I'm in decel, just because I don't want to be in the throttle while I'm trying to hand drag, because that's going to cause you to loop out or fight the brake. So every time I go for the hand drag, I let all the way out to decel, and I'm in drop back, and I just ease the brake, and then touch it for as long as you want, or as long as you can, and then pressure on the brake brings you back. So for the next trick that I think would probably be next in level of advancement would be coasters. Means basically when you're in a wheelie, you're gonna pull the clutch in and you're gonna find that very fine-tuned balance point. You're not too far in drop back where you're using too much brake to like bring you to a slow or bring you to a stop, and you're not too far forward where you have to ease the throttle and bring it back up to balance point. The coaster, once you have the clutch in, you know you are right at that pinnacle of the balance point, and just touch it, pull in the clutch. Your bike's either gonna fall this way or it's gonna fall this way, and that's how you judge, like, oh, you read it. You just wanna find that fine pinnacle. There's a certain spot where that bike will just sit at balance point, and it just sits there perfectly, and that's our goal. We're gonna go find that pinnacle right now. So I don't know how good you can see it in the video. We'll try to make it as presentable as possible. But once I dropped it back and got right to that pinnacle, I just pulled the clutch in. And then I'm just using my right foot to feather the brake just to maintain that spot. And then once you get those dialed, once you have the coasters dialed and you are comfortable with, you know, picking it up, coasting, letting it down, and you're not looping out and all that stuff, then you can add the rev limiter for the rev limiter coaster. And we'll go ahead and give an example of that right now. So that was the rev limiter coaster. As you can tell, that is like probably one of my favorite tricks. It's just, I don't know, it feels so good. Once you have it, you'll know. But the next advanced trick after that would probably be no throttle hand. So we'll go ahead and show that to you. Basically, you're just gonna take that, once you have the throttle coasters on lock, and you have the brake dialed and stuff, think about it, you're already not using your throttle because you're backed off all the throttle already, and you're just using your clutch. So take that coaster we just learned, and we're just gonna take our throttle hand off, and we're just gonna coast it out. Easy as that. Get out there, get that coaster on lock, and then you're obviously not gonna just like hang your arm off to begin with. If you're a beast, you might, but usually people just kind of at first even like just go like this just to like train yourself to let go, and then start to like pull it a little farther away, and eventually you're gonna be like, oh. You'll do it, I promise. So once you have the coaster throttle hand off, the next trick up would probably be, we're not gonna have any hands on the handlebars. We're gonna lock the bars. I'm gonna drop it back. I'm gonna put on, you can do this on a Harley, you can, basically any bike is gonna have a point to grab right here somewhere, whether it be below the tank, on the seat, on this bar right here, up here. What I like to do on the Monkey is grab the seat right here, and then we're just gonna lock these bars out and go no hands on the bars at all. It's technically not a no-hander because I still have a hold point, but it's no hands on the bar, no throttle hand, no nothing, and that's kind of the next trick in the lineup. So we'll go ahead and do that one right now. Alright guys, so that was the no throttle hand with the lock point. Now I'm going to do the throttle hand drag. So basically I'm going to take that throttle hand, take it back, touch the ground, while still having my left hand on the seat, on the hold point. So we'll go ahead and show that one to you right now. So something to think about when you're about to do this trick. The engine brake's going to help you a lot. So don't smash the back brake, just ease it, you know? There's no crazy movements in this stuff. Everything's just really easy and just really methodical, smooth, calculated movements. You shouldn't be out there being buck wild. I mean, some of you got that style. Me, I'm kind of just more of a calculated dial type. But right here, we're gonna go ahead and showcase the throttle hand drag. All right, a lot of you guys would say, oh, that's sick, that counts. Well, I'm a high standard individual, that doesn't count. I didn't get a hand drag, I only got the fingertips. So we're gonna go for round two, we're gonna try it again. All right guys, so we've pretty much gone up the level, or up the ladder in difficulty level of tricks. I think the throttle hand drag is right up there with like doing no-handers. For me, no-handers are kind of tough, but I'll give my best attempt at one right now. I'd rather do a throttle hand drag before a no-hander, and that's just because I have a hold point when I'm doing a throttle hand drag. With the no-handers, you got no hold point, so it comes from your core strength. Flex those abs up, kind of push your belly, push that chest out a little bit. Just let it fly, baby. All right, guys, so I tried 3 no-handers right here, and me, if I do something 3 times and I don't get it like I want, I just move on, you know? And that's another thing about coming out here, learning how to do wheelies or learning how to do advanced wheelies, or just progressing in general at this, or anything in life, is your attitude. And come out here with a good attitude. If you get bummed out and you're like, dang it, I didn't land it, you throw your shit on the ground, or you're not gonna progress. So just have the mindset of, if you progress this much every day, at least that's something. If you're that much better than you were yesterday, you're progressing. So be stoked on that for yourself and build off that energy. If you have a bad day, everybody has bad days. What I do is I put the bike away, or I just watch the boys, hype the boys up, throw the vibes out there, keep that composure. If you're getting arm pump, if you're messing up on something, park the bike for 5 minutes. You're trying it over and over and over again, losing your energy and just losing your focus, park it for 5 minutes and come back to it. There's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of people out there are just like doing it until they got it, but it's like sometimes it helps a lot to just step back, take a breath, and get back in it. There is another trick I want to go over. There's like a few more tricks, but I'm kind of just going over the more advanced ones. On the minis, on the Harley, it's like no big deal. On the Harley, if you can scrape, you're like an intermediate rider, Harley stunt rider. But so that I would consider a scrape as an intermediate trick. But on the minis, the scrape I feel like is honestly harder than it is on the Harleys. So we're gonna go ahead and do a small example of a mini scrape right now. Me personally, I pull in the clutch when I do the scrape on these, whereas on the Harley I do not. You just don't need to. On these you kind of do. So I'll hit second gear, I'm gonna pull in the clutch, and I'm just gonna drop it back and go ahead and hit this solid stunts sup cage. All right, so that was the scrape. Easy enough, right? What you'll want to have done in your trick list before you attempt that is obviously some coasters. Just be able to pull in that clutch and know exactly where the drop back point is in the balance point. That's really the only thing for that one, and just having the balls to go for it. You just get some speed, hit the top of second gear, pull in the clutch, and drop it back and just wait for it. Don't slam it into it, but do your best to ease it into the subframe. And that's pretty much all I got for that one. All right, so what I do for the sit down circle is I can come in with one leg up or one leg down, but I've found that it helps to have the left foot down when you start learning them. So if you can do a circle with your foot down, what I started doing was literally just picking up my foot and putting it on the peg as I was in my circle. So I'll do a entrance right now. You'll watch my foot or my leg will be off my left peg, and then right when I dip into the circle, I put my leg up on my peg, and I kind of just try to find the sweet spot. And it's really hard to explain. You kind of just have to do it and start feeling it and figuring it out. But I think the key is the engagement, how you come into it. So it's all in how you come into it, and then once you're locked and you're consistent coming in every single time, the circle becomes a lot easier. As you can see there, I came in pretty slow. I had to do some clutch work. The idea is very little clutch work. If you can get your circle just to the point where your RPMs are just above your clutch engagement, where you don't have to pull in your clutch, that's perfect. So I'm gonna give another one a shot, maybe one or two more times. Like I said, I don't like trying things too many times because it just gets kind of frustrating. But that was my first go at it. We'll give it another one or two, and we'll just go with it. Like I said, I just started learning those, so I'm not completely dialed at them yet, but we're working on them. I've gotten a few that are sick, that feel so good, but as for today, not today. So now I'll do a knee knocker circle. I'm even worse at these, but I kind of just want to show you guys the approach into it, and maybe hit a circle or two. So let's get it. Not quite yet, it's just a start. But the thing is, guys, it's just getting out here, putting in the seat time, doing it every day. If you want to be good at something, you'll be good at it. Like I said, it's just all in that attitude and how you look at it. If you look at something to be not achievable, not obtainable, you can't get it, you won't. If you look at something like, I can do that, that's mine, manifest it, and it's within reach, you'll be able to do it all day, every day. Basically, if you want to be good at something, you gotta practice, you gotta practice, you gotta practice. You almost gotta go crazy. It's like training a dog. You gotta be so repetitive that it's annoying, and that's what we do. This stuff doesn't just happen overnight. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes willpower, it takes know-how, it takes all of it, guys. So biggest thing is, if you want to do it, get out there and go get it, baby. Thanks for watching the advanced wheelie tutorial on my YouTube channel. Get it, Gary. If you like what you're seeing, go like, go subscribe, go tell a friend, and there's gonna be a lot more where that came from. In the coming videos, I'm gonna be revealing my Harley. It's a brand new build. I haven't revealed it to YouTube yet. If you follow me on Instagram, you've obviously seen it. But for my YouTube followers that don't know the extent of the Harley riding yet and what we do out here, it's coming soon. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.